Hello, my name is Jean Rehema and I'm a mental health and life coach and also a Bible teacher. And in today's video, we're going to cover what to do when you feel like your life is stagnant. So on this channel, I believe that the Bible is a manual for life. There shouldn't be a space between the secular and the spiritual. So everything that we go through, we can find answers in the Bible. And sometimes we feel like our lives are stagnant. Everybody else seems to be succeeding and moving and their life is always on and you feel stuck. So whether it's with regards to work or dating or having kids or having more kids or getting a scholarship or a job or that fellowship, whatever it is, you might feel like you're stagnant. A car, a home, anything. Could really be anything. Money. And what to do when you feel like your life is stagnant. So first of all, let's dig deeper into that. If you feel like your life is stagnant, number one, that might be a true assessment of your life. Perhaps you are stagnant. You found yourself stuck somewhere, and whenever you feel stuck, there's actually a video on that. You can check it out. I'll put it at the end of the video. I'll put it in the description. I'll put it right here, so it's easy for you to get that. So you actually might be stuck or stagnant, whether it's in patterns or cycles or whatever it is, you actually might be stuck for real. And then the second thing would be your assessment is wrong and you are not stuck. You just need to redefine what success and movement look to you. You might have to change your definition of success. So in both of these things, whether it actually is stuck and you're right, or it isn't stuck and you're wrong, in both of these things, you need to dig deeper to find out what is success exactly. And let me give you an example from the Bible, like David. So David was the youngest of his brothers. He was in the back there looking after sheep and maybe goats. And if you've been around sheep and goats, they kind of have a smell, in the hot sun, just taking care of sheep and goats. And his brothers were out there in the army, being all sleek and handsome and big, being paid wages by the king, and probably having their way with the ladies. I mean, they have income, they have social status, they're at the front lines, they have money, the girls want them. And then he's over here at the back, burning in the sun, looking after sheep for free. Yes, he had a place to sleep and all that, but the guy, realistically, he could have looked at his life and thought, my brothers seem to be having it. I'm over here in obscurity, not being seen by anybody, just looking after these sheep, making sure they are fed and watered, burning, getting sunburns, sweating, being by myself, all lonely and stuff. And then there's these people who, their success and their status is visible to people. They're over there, seen, heard, earning, getting favor. It looks like they have it all. The question I'd want to pose to you is, was David unsuccessful where he was? Because as he was looking after the sheep, it was preparation for him to shepherd and lead the people of Israel. So what might have looked like obscurity for him was actually preparing him for where he was going. So in essence, it was necessary and it had to happen. The obscurity had to happen. And the definition of success I'd want to give you today is success is being where God wants you to be, doing what God wants you to do, when God wants you to be doing it. Because that is when you are successful. It might not look like success to the world. Some people might not know who you are. Like, who's that? You might seem You might think, or you actually might be forgotten by people. You haven't been unveiled yet. You haven't been put on the front line yet. But that doesn't mean that your day-to-day is unsuccessful. Success doesn't look like how we define it a lot of the times. So the question you need to be asking yourself if you feel like you're stagnant is, one, if you actually are stagnant, what does God want you to do? Where does God want you to be at this particular moment in time? You need to question that. And if you aren't, move and press in and find out what God wants you to do, and then you get doing it. Position yourself where God wants you, or allow God to position you where He'd want you to be. If it's just a feeling of obscurity you have because you're comparing yourself with others, there's also a video on comparison. I'll link it. You can find it among the many videos I've done. If you're just comparing yourself with people and you feel like, oh, their life is more meaningful or more significant than mine at this particular time, but you know you're where you're supposed to be, whether that's looking after the kids or staying home to study or read the Bible or volunteering somewhere or being an intern, or you're just kind of tucked away, but you know you're where, or you believe you're where God wants you to be, then be there with pride, with faith, and with confidence, because when you doubt yourself and when you show up with a lack of enthusiasm and a lack of authority, you only make your journey harder, because that's where you're supposed to be. So if you show up like you're not supposed to be there, and the whole time unajishuku, or in English, you're hesitating, you're kind of laid back, you're unsure, you're anxious. If you show up like that, it's only more difficult for you. So what does success look like in God's eyes for you at this moment? Find that out. And blessings are a result of obedience, or if I can phrase it a different way, obedience precedes blessing. And we can see in Deuteronomy, I think 28. Let me see if I can pull that up. Oh, Deuteronomy 28. It says, verse 1 and 2, nothing long. Now, if you faithfully obey the voice of the Lord, your God, and are careful to follow all His commands, I am giving you today. That's the Bible, not me. This, I think, was Joshua or Moses. Joshua. The Lord your God will set you above all the nations of the earth. That is, if you faithfully obey. And all these blessings will come upon you and overtake you if you will obey the voice of the Lord your God. And then it lists this long list of blessings, and it says the blessings will come upon you and overtake you. This means they will go before you, so they will come and even pass you. Where you're stepping is a blessed place. That's what overtaking means. So where as you move, you're moving into a place, into a space that has already been blessed if you obey. And obedience might not look glamorous, but we have moments of our lives that are obscure or feel obscure or trivial, but the fruits of that will be seen later. It doesn't have to always be on, or even on social media we put our own parts of our lives, but essentially there's so much that goes into the behind the scenes. All the moments leading up to the captured moment are important. Don't forget that. So if you need encouragement or coaching, you can put it in the comments. You can go to jeanrehema.com or email me at info@jeanrehema.com. I'll put that in the description as well, so it's easy for you to find it. Have an amazing weekend. Stop beating yourself up. You're fine, you're doing great. And if you're not, make the changes, necessary changes. It's not the end of the world. If you discover, oh, I'm in the wrong place, then get to the right place. there is no time to sit and, condemn yourself for hours or days or weeks. Get moving. Like, we move. That's the whole point of life. We get up, we move. Though the righteous fall, he will get up 7 times, number of completion. So yeah, have an amazing, amazing week, amazing time. Send in your questions or video suggestions to the email in the description. Have an amazing day. Bye.